Okay, this video is on the Ibanez Custom Agent. Mine is a 1977 Custom Agent. Um, Beautiful guitars. Japanese are known for incredible neck and fretwork. Beautiful binding. Inlays on the neck. This, of course, is an applique, mother of pearl, no less. Headstock inlay, the scroll top mandolin style. This, of course, is the quote-unquote lawsuit guitar, one of the lawsuit guitars from back in the 70s, because it's a Gibson Les Paul knockoff. That being said, I typically run a 2 humbucker 4-knob guitar in this way. If I have my volume all the way up, I will typically roll 30 to 40% of the highs off using the tone knob, as I don't really care for the real high frequencies, especially that you would get from a Fender amp, which is what I'm using here. This is a Fender Twin, early 70s to mid 70s Twin, Old Faithful amp. So that being said, this is the Custom Agent with a little bit of tube screamer. This is a Keeley tube screamer. I'm running the distortion at about 10 o'clock, the tone at 12 o'clock, and the level at around 10, we'll say 11 o'clock. So you hear that's a pretty good bit of overdrive, not insane, not over the top, but pretty nice, pretty good bit of bite to it. These are bright guitars. They're not carved tops like a Gibson Les Paul. It's a bent, molded plywood top. Whereas, the Gibson Les Paul, of course, is typically a mahogany body with a carved maple top. Again, this is a laminated body, and I believe it is mahogany, but a birch plywood molded top. Maybe steam molded, I'm not sure. But in any event, it's not solid all the way through, and you can actually kind of hear that. I mean, it's hollow. There's hollows in there between the top and the body, so that sort of adds to the unique character of the guitar, sound of the guitar. But it's also going to add some high end and maybe particularly mid highs, which I like in this guitar. The necks are fantastic. Again, Japanese are highly regarded and known for great neck and fretwork. This would be considered a 60s style neck, a thin tapered kind of neck. Very fast neck. Frets feel great. Plays in tune, stays in tune, I'd say more than reasonably well. So that's kind of the bridge pickup. And again, if I'm rolling back my volume, then I'm going to roll the highs back in on the tone knob. So if I'm cleaning up, that's kind of cleaned up a little bit on the volume. I'm down around 6 or so, which is usually where I start. You know, I may play with my volume on 6, you know, all night. And, you know, use my neck pickup a lot for lead tones, which I typically run wide open. So we'll go to the neck now. Again, I typically run all this wide open. That's not to say that there's not a lot of variation, you know, tone variation using the volume and tone knob. But I find that I use the treble pickup mostly for my rhythms and stuff. Again, I will play some leads in this position, in the bridge position, but I favor, on this particular guitar, the neck pickup for lead tone, so it's real easy to switch from, you know, your rhythm playing and just you're up into you know, Leadville right away. Really articulate sounding neck pickup. It's got all the right highs, you know, high mids, which I really like. I really like the neck pickup in this guitar a lot. I had one of these when I was a teenager, and I just recently got this one, I would say maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and was very lucky to have found it on Craigslist here locally for $500. Now, you can find these guitars, they're not terribly rare yet. Some of the other colors are a little more rare. You can get these in black, I believe they made, which is pretty rare, and then they make a cherry brandy, I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it's a more of a red looking, as opposed to this tobacco burst. But typically eBay, you can find these guitars $800 to $1,200. Well worth it, just depending on, you know, what you're in the market for. But again, just really well made, fast playing neck guitar. A little more of the neck pickup. We can clean that up a little bit if you're doing some rhythmy stuff. Pretty mellow sounding, and you can get you some nice tones, you know, rolling off the tone knob too if you want to darken it up a little bit. Let's listen to that clean. This is going to be without any tube screamer at all. Neck pickup wide open. Real nice, articulate, sounding neck pickup. I really like it. So again, that's the Custom Agent. Really nice guitars. I highly recommend them. Not necessarily a substitute for a Gibson Les Paul. They're just kind of different. Again, these tend to be brighter. The sound, the tone sort of jumps off the neck in a little bit of a different way, but favorably, if you ask me. All right, thanks.